Hello, welcome to our new module that I'm bringing to you here. And this is probably the juiciest part of all of the modules in my program. And so I'm thoroughly enjoying bringing this to you. This is the morning manifesting ritual recipe. The recipe that gets results if you put all the right ingredients in. So here we go. I'll get straight into it, no fluffing around, and because this is what I actually do. And so there's three potent parts of the recipe. So repetition is one. Repetition. So when we're clearing out those old limitations from the past and renewing the mind with empowering thoughts, empowering written words, empowering statements that are spoken. Repetition, and again, repetition is absolutely necessary to create a new rut of belief in that unknown place called the subconscious mind. So the power of using the right words in daily affirmations is life-changing. So I'll teach on that. I'll get straight to the point on how to do it. And visualization is absolutely necessary. So it's like salt and pepper. If you've got salt, you need pepper, and if you've got pepper, you need salt. They go together really well, right? And so it's like this with affirmations and visualization. So if you just do affirmations with no emotion, you might get a result in 15, 20 years maybe, because it's only half of it. So the visualizing is really necessary, and then having a plan of action. So universally speaking, in the laws of sowing and reaping, that's what this is about. And based on the fact that we are conscious creators. So I am not an evolutionist. I will let my opinions be known here. You all have yours, and that's fine. So I teach out of my truth, and I want you to know me. And whatever I say that you don't agree with, you have the freedom to not agree with me and to really question your own beliefs. Because this is very important when you're learning, because you're learning to be more influencing in people's lives with what I'm teaching you in these modules. And the process of this one is really important, because people's beliefs, you know, we live out of our beliefs and our values, and they're actually lodged in the subconscious. So you've got to know thyself. Without judgment, if you're a tree hugger, if you believe in that, if you believe in the stars, if you believe in praying 5-6 times a day, whatever you believe, everything is governed by universal laws, and they all come to the same point of truth. Just as a really simple analogy I'll use here is like, if you're up on a roof and you want to get down and you don't have a ladder and you jump, you'll go down. It's a law of gravity. So it's delusional to think if you jump, you'll float. So this is very relevant. So I'll get straight into it, because words have power, and that's what I was going to say. So I'm not an evolutionist, I'm a creationist. And why I'm saying that is it's really relevant with affirmations, because in creation, in the beginning, the imagination was implemented by the power of words of I am, and I am being God. So if that ruffles feathers, consider this, what I'm saying. So when we say affirmations, there is no power in saying I will, because you're keeping it out in the future, away from you, or I might, or I shall. they are not words of creating, they are words really more of doubt and maybes. So words that create, that pull words into the reality of now as I am. And because we have that power, we have, humans have a free will of choice. And even if external forces are trying to remove that from humanity, the truth is no one can take that away from you. And to not choose to stay in the grey lane, and because some people say they won't choose, that is still a choice, and it's really a choice of indecision or just wasting your intelligence and wasting time. So let's get into it. So a daily, your morning manifesting ritual. This book here, the 5-minute journal, I purchased that from Amazon, and I use it. I use it every morning. You don't have to have this. Tools to positively change your life. I'll give you an example. So each day is dated, and there's a beautiful quote at the top of each page, and then 3 things to write that I am grateful for in the morning. What would make today great? Daily affirmations, I am. And then at the end of the day, you can review your day, and they've got listed here 3 amazing things that happened today, and you write them. And also, how could I have made today even better? So that bottom part, I do it the next morning, because when I finish work at the end of the day, I chill, I switch out. But it's a brilliant little book, and I made that investment, and I use it. I love it. The other tool that I use is this beautiful, see the cover? So I got this from a news agency, blank pages. And so this is my special, and it's a soft cover. This is my special little pad that I've got everything written out in. So all the resources I've given you here in the documents of your affirmations and your plan for success, I've got mine written out here, because I so encourage you, when you print these off for yourself, write them out, because of that emotional connection from the brain to the handwriting on paper. And that's why they say, even with gratitude, particularly if you're in a hard place, if you want to write the same thing that you're grateful for many, many times every day, that's a good practice to do. I don't do that. I have the habit of doing the process, and I journal in this pad. So all of that, everything that's on that document, you don't need me to go on for too long. This is mainly about the recipe, because in the document that you've got to print off, there's a lot of educational knowledge in that before doing the affirmations. So basically, there is a process. For the 5 areas of life, it's the same recipe, for your health, your fitness, for your business, your finances, your mindset, personal development, and love relationship, whether you want to get into a relationship or you're in one and want to enrich it. It's the same recipe that I'm giving you in this video. This book here, I suggest you grab it or go onto YouTube and listen to Audible. The teachings of Neville Goddard for this work are like 10 out of 10. So this one, your inner conversations are creating your world. There's another brilliant one of his on imagination, because this is all about imagining the things that you want to achieve. So when visualizing, really a lot of it is about faith, which is the opposite of fear. So fear is false evidence appearing real. It's in the realm of the dark side. It's quite evil, and it has a stronghold in many people. And one of the most potent ways to deal with that and to reprogram your belief system and that mind-heart connection is with this work. And so to get into your visualizing process, to be a conscious creator and to create things that you so desire, that is all about faith. Don't need faith for these glasses, they're here in the physical realm. But something that you so desire, you might want to lose 3 kilos, you might want to be really strong and fit and feel vital. That's not yet manifested if you're not in that state, and if you're overweight and you're not exercising habitually and eating the right food and feeding your mind with the right affirmations for your vitality and your beauty, everything like that. They all go together. So of a morning, this is how it's done, and this is what I do. To become more practiced as soon as you open your eyes. Oh, let me pre-frame it. Before you get into this, most people wake up of a morning and their thoughts aren't great. So be careful what you go to sleep with on your mind, because you might wake up with it, and in all those hours of sleep that the mind's been processing, it could be in a dark place. So that's not real smart. So become more conscious of the internal conversations that Neville Goddard teaches about, because the mind doesn't go away for holidays, or it doesn't have a day off. It's always working. So the internal conversations, to have that mind mastery, this becomes much easier when you're in practice. So for some of you who are in this practice, you will assess it in terms of what I'm giving you here. Some of you, it'll be new to you, but I'm going to say this. If you don't do it, and if you treat it like an add-on, don't expect great results from this program. Don't expect great results from any part of your life if you take it a bit, down the nose. So it would be very wise of you to do this as it's being taught, because this is how I've got results in my life. So when you do put this to the test and you get the results, it builds your faith. It builds your belief. Not in the process alone, but also in yourself. And this is where women that I talk to all the time, they want more confidence. They want to feel beautiful. They want to feel vital. They want to feel energized. So do this work. Put yourself first. Not egoically, but fill up your own tank. Take responsibility for your success, for your happiness, for everything. And the more you do that, the more calm you become, and the more you've got to give others, and the more discerning you are about who you won't give yourself to. Because some people are just takers, and they're in that numb place. So this work changes lives. Gratitude alone can change a life, can sweeten a heart. And it does, and it has, and it will continue to in people's lives. I'm far more grateful now than I used to be. And universally, God isn't going to give you more if you're not grateful for what you already have. It's a law. So back to the main thing of a morning. When waking up, become more conscious of your first thoughts. So I start my day, before I get out of bed and my feet go to the floor, I lie there and I consciously, if I'm not in a fabulous place, I consciously choose, and I'll start speaking out with feeling the things I'm grateful for. I give thanks for a new day. I'm so grateful for my life. I am so grateful for the beautiful place where I live. I'm just so grateful, and go on and say a few of those even before you get out. I then go and make a pot of coffee, have the water, and then I get my pad my 2 pads and my gel pen, and I sit quietly and I go through that work. But I'm going to tell you something. When I'm doing my affirmations and all of my cleansing work, particularly that Catherine Ponder work that you've got, I've provided you with, which is very important if there's any yucky emotions residing. It's a blockage to prosperity and money, health, peace. But when I do my affirmations, I walk through here. Because when I'm sitting and I'm speaking affirmations, at least I'm doing it. But when I'm a very physical person, and when I'm walking and doing them and looking in the mirror, this is how I do mine. I look at myself in the mirror, and there's no fooling anybody how I feel about myself, my self-expression, and walking, and the power I feel energetically doing that. I strongly recommend give it a go and see how it feels for you. The gratitude, the goal with doing your gratitude, I'm so happy and grateful now that the clients that I attract are in alignment. I'm so grateful for my business. I'm so happy, and I'm so grateful that everything always works out for me. See what I mean? It becomes a new normal. Do it every day. With waking up and going to sleep, they are 2 key times. Become really acutely aware of how you start the day when your eyes open in that quiet time of what you start to think and speak. And the same thing at the end of the night when you're going to sleep. End your night consciously giving thanks. Have a thankful heart. Even in problems, that's a potent key in itself. When things aren't fabulous, and especially building a business, it knocks you around emotionally, and they are the times more so. Don't give power to the complaining. Give power to the gratitude. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for this time in my life. I trust myself. I invite problems. I am a problem solver. Everything always works out for me. I'm so grateful now that everything always works out for me. Train the mind. Now, visualizing, when the process is written here for you too. So with the visualizing, this is the main thing I want you to get. Because at the beginning when I started doing this, I didn't know about it, and I used to visualize quite externally, and it felt a bit weird. But this is the trick, to make it your own and to make it real, aligned with your affirmations, is once you've got clear, I mainly focus on 2 areas, and they are my health and fitness and my business. So with the planning for success, you write out what you want by a set date. If it's not a set date, it's not a goal, and it won't happen. Well, it might, but it's got to be a set date. I am so happy and grateful now that I've achieved X by 20th of December 21. That's an example. When you've got that drilled down, then you can have a movie created in the studio of your mind, and you can sit there and you can visualize it. You can visualize that day, and this is what you've got to do to make it real. What you're wearing, where you are, who you're with. If you're by the ocean, the smell of the ocean, hearing the ocean, whatever it is, who you're with. And your loved one, your friends say, "Oh, Leslie, you did it. That's fabulous. Well done." This is how you create and make real by faith something that you desire. And when with that you have a plan written down with planning for success on what you're willing to do, the 1, 2, 3 action steps you're willing to do on a regular basis to get that outcome, you deserve it. Because you're doing the work. Universally, the universe brings circumstances about outside of the realm of what you're creating, and this is how it works. So that's it. That's really the daily manifesting ritual in the essence. The rest I've given to you in resources. There's a lot more I could say about it, but what I want you to know really is you got to do it. Let these become your, put it first above all others. And when you've got, that's one thing I needed to say, when you've got your plan, your goal, it's really important that you tell no one. You do not tell your boyfriend, you do not tell your husband, you do not tell your kids, you do not tell your girlfriend, you tell no one. You really keep it close to your heart as a secret, and that's a big success tip for this work. Because you've got to understand, in the spiritual realm, in the ether, there's always things, everything is energy. And this work is energetic, the more feeling. Feeling is the prayer. The ancient people knew this. They didn't sit with highfalutin, asking, begging. They knew about energy and vibration and feelings, visualizing the reality. You're creating a reality within yourself because you have the power. So you don't tell anyone because you don't know what people speak behind your back. And not everyone cares about what you want, let's face it. So you've got to honor this and put it to the test and respect it. And above all, I'll drill it home. I want you to, it doesn't matter today if you're resisting or if it's a chore and you don't want to do it. I don't mind that at all, but I'm not your boss. I'm saying to you, be real. You don't have to be in love with it at the starting point. But if you let that keep you from doing it, that would not be your best decision. Start where you're at and grow your way into it. I knew a lady I had a business years ago in the personal development space. It was a high-end live events business, personal development. She and her husband, this I'll always remember. She and her husband started in that business. They'd lost millions of dollars and she was close to topping herself. And they invested in this business on the very small scale, that business, and they had to do gratitude. They had a workbook and they had to do gratitude, and she gave testimony in the live calls that she couldn't because she was so full of anger and hatred and she wanted to kill someone. They'd lost everything and she had to do gratitude, and so she started. She had to have some support to overcome the hurt of what she was going through, and that's years ago, but she stuck it out and they became millionaires in that business. A husband and wife team, changed her heart. So it's very real stuff. Don't underestimate it. So I hope that helps you. Don't try and be someone you're not today. If you're not feeling tickled by all this, that's quite okay. Just allow that to be what it is. But I'm saying this to set you up to succeed, because when you can tell me and give me testimonies from the wins you have and how this has changed your mind and your heart and your life, your business will just flourish because it's who you're being. This is about be, do, have, not do, have, and be. It's who you're being in all that you do throughout the day in life, not just business, to have the outcomes and the stuff that you want. So this is very in alignment with my teaching on personal development, because the secular world system doesn't live by this. They live by do, have and be. So this is in alignment with be, do and have. You do all the work, 80% of the work in yourself first. Then you have an action plan to be in alignment to get the goals you want in the 5 key areas in your life. And the have virtually takes care of itself. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I've loved bringing this. It's quite a rant. It's a great teaching, and I look forward to your feedback. And tap into the resources here, print them off and make them your own. All right? So bye-bye.